My brothers and sisters, I want to talk with you about the story of David and Goliath. You probably are very familiar with this story. It's very good for a lot of Hollywood movies. So you've probably seen versions of the story, but a lot of times people have not really read the biblical text and gone through the text to, really see what the text is saying. And the Israelites were in conflict with the Philistines. And David had been anointed king, but nobody recognized that David was the king. It's kind of interesting, just like they didn't recognize Jesus as king. And so the Philistines were on one mountain and the Israelites on another mountain in a valley between them. And the Philistines sent out this huge warrior who was covered in scaly armor. And his name was Goliath. And Goliath reviled Israel, the nation that God blessed, he reviled. But the only problem is the Israelites were completely scared of this guy. He was so big. And one person wasn't, a little shepherd boy by the name of David. And of course, it took them a little while to say, you're going to go fight him? You got to be kidding. They put on the armor of the king on David and he could barely walk. They took it off and David said, look, I got my slingshot here. I can fight a lion and a bear with this. This will be fine. And so if you go to chapter 17, 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 45, I want to focus on one verse. 1 Samuel 17, 45. You ready? So we're in chapter 17. We're going to find verse 45 here. And let's just look at this one verse right here. David said to the Philistine, you come to me with sword and with spear and with javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defiled. Do you see what David's trying to say? He's trying to say, you come here with all the earthly instruments of war. You've got your sword, your javelin, your shield, you've got all that good stuff. But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. I come to you in his name. And essentially, if you look at what David's saying, he's saying, I don't trust in these things. I don't trust in these earthly things. I trust in God. And so you can learn a lot from this battle between David and Goliath. Every problem that you have, every difficulty, every trial, can you turn to God and say, Lord, I trust in you. I don't trust in all the earthly things that can help me out of this trial, but I trust in you. You're the one who can help me. I come to you in the name of the Lord, of the God of Israel. We're told that the name of Jesus is the name above all names, that every knee in heaven and earth shall bow at his name. And so when we're in the midst of conflict, we call upon his name. We call upon his name and we ask him to help us so that we may trust not in the things of this world, but in him.